Well, here's an easy one. Can abortion clinics trust the police to keep them safe now? Why do they add now to that? Like, could they trust them to keep them safe at any time? Because like there was always protests outside of abortion clinics. Like
Right.
people, like you said earlier, people don't want you to have an abortion. They've been wanting to tell you what to do with your body. Other women too, by the way. It's not just dudes. Just
Right.
it's just mostly dudes that made the decision. But yeah, no, they can't. They cannot keep them safe now or ever. Partially because they don't want to.
There
I'm
it
sure.
is.
I'm sure some of them are like, yeah, I don't want you to have an abortion either. I want to be able to arrest that bastard child when he gets over, possibly crack a nightstick over his head, whatever I'm
Right.
feeling, whatever the mood calls for. But yeah, no, not at all. I wouldn't. For the clinics that are open and those like border clinics and all that, remember we were talking about the other day, those are going to be very safe, very unsafe areas, especially now. Any abortion, very unsafe. Like, how do you feel comfortable even going in there?
Well, I mean, now these people who are anti-abortion, now that they have, because let's be honest, any of these states where this law is now enforced, they have to shut down. They don't have a choice, right?
Yeah.
But if any of these states that are like either still on the fence or have chosen not to obey this law, that's where they're going to go now. Like they're going to head to these places and form their masses and their protests in these areas and disrupt these people, these citizens, right? And a lot of people want to make this about race because as the numbers are disproportionate for the amount of Black people getting abortions versus white people, even though more white people overall do get abortions, for some reason in certain states it's more Black people than white people. So these states are
Wait.
one of those.
Sorry, did you just say white people get more abortions than black people?
Overall, yeah.
You,
Overall,
are
yes.
you saying that white women are just more clumsy with their vagina than black
Uh,
women?
I'm not saying that. The statistics are saying that, and
Okay.
then
Oh,
I
okay.
said that based on the
Based on the
statistics.
statistics.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Statistics,
So
you
I
are
said it.
all right. All
I
right.
said it, but you can't blame me. You got to blame the stats. These are
All right.
numbers. These are numbers.
Fair point.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
But anyways, you got to look at these. You got to look at these other states now where these anti-protesters are going to go and be like, how do the cops feel about this? Because there's cops that are in these states that haven't made these decisions that are like, I don't agree with what they're doing.
Right.
I think we should be enforcing this law too. You know what I'm saying? And when they're called to these places, even before this was a law, the article that we read, it said so many cases of where there was violence, threats, bomb threats, murders. Nothing's ever happened to these people. Nothing has ever happened to anybody who has caused or arson. Nothing's ever happened. No criminal, nothing. No convictions, no nothing.
You mean the
So,
people that like are basically making the violent threats or even actually
right, the people
committing the
who are,
oh, they're
yes,
still
even
just
when they
chilling.
find out who they
Oh,
are,
damn.
even when they find out who they
Yeah,
are.
man.
Yeah,
They
even when
cops
they
ain't doing
find out
shit.
who they are. Obviously not for the serious crimes because then they would be charged with the arson and stuff like that. But there's no serious investigation that's being put forth when these type of things happen to these abortion clinics. So of course the cops are going to be like, nah, we don't want to protect these places now, which is dangerous. It's highly dangerous. But the question is anybody really going to care
No.
what happens to these people at these
Yo,
abortion clinics? Like
yo, they
whether you're for or against abortions, do you care really?
they should hire, like, if a lot of these places are predominantly white where these abortion clinics are, they should just hire goons. Forget the cops, just hire goons to just stand around the clinic. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Listen, they say one of the toughest jobs to have is like a funeral director or like work at a funeral home and do that stuff. Nah, man. After this story, an abortion clinic, being the person that either performs it or has to be there for it, and like imagine the stories, because just a walk-in clinic has ridiculous stories, I'm sure, on a daily basis.
oh,
Imagine,
absolutely.
imagine the stories and the people coming in and how far along some of these people are when they come in and having to, like, there's people out there who can have numbers on how many have been killed, how many they've killed. Like that to me is a crazy ass job to do on a daily basis.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's just wild to me. That's just and I'm somebody who's just like, make your choice. I'm pro-choice, make your own decisions or whatever. That's what I'm
Yeah, you're
for.
just commenting about the job. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I'm just commenting. That to me is that's the man.
Somebody has to do it. Just like I think they need to hire the thugs to hold down the situation. Have you ever went into
right back to the
have you ever went into like a neighborhood and like there's like big buildings, and you know some neighborhoods you walk into the entrance of the building, just mad niggas just lit. Some people won't even enter in that building. I'm telling you, if they had that, not a problem. People get their
I don't know any of those buildings. So
oh, of course you don't.
those are very what? There's
Yeah.
buildings where people just like chill it downstairs.
They just loiter. You mean all hours after night, looking
in like the
ghoulish?
guest area, in like the visitor section, waiting for the tenants to come down? Is that what you mean?
Yes, that's what I mean. Viewing public, what are your thoughts on this, man? Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe.